Hey everyone, today we're talking about podcast studio tables, specifically tables. So let me show you what works and what doesn't work. And let me show you how you can save money on the other side. So let's go right into that. So podcast table, how do you choose one? And I'm talking for video podcasts specifically. For audio, it is really easy to have any types of podcast table. It can be very small, very crammed. At this point, it's only sound. So cameras are important. But as soon as you jump into cameras, you have to think about angles, right? So a table that would be hard to shoot would be like this table here, right? Something square is very hard to shoot for video because most often you'll have like side profiles. Like if we look at this, it's interesting, it's okay. You see that they curve the chairs out because the camera person will want them to be a little bit out, like that they're not full profile, right? So they'll talk to each other a little bit like this in this angle to be open to the center camera and a nicer shot for the side cameras because they don't have angle tables, right? So let me show you what's good. Now, a round table could work, right? Potentially, like two people, one here, it's round, so they can kind of curve into the sides and they're more open to the camera. So this can work. It's not an issue. It's probably cheaper to go this way, but often you'll need to, place the people to make sure that they're in a nice angle, right? So if we look at this is interesting. It's a square table. Large enough so there's a lot of space between everyone, and they've put it in this angle to get an open angle on these two and an open angle on these two guests. The only thing about this table is that it's really ugly on a wide shot. Unless it's only two guests, maybe we can crop into here, which is nice, and we don't see this like under the feet and stuff under the table. So not my favorite, but it's a good option for like a cheap option, right? You're just buying a table. You're not creating something new. Now, you got these tables here that are from, I think the company is called Podcast Tables in the US, in Wichita, I think. And so this is interesting because you can see one guest here is great, one guest here is great, and then the center is going to work also. The only thing I would change is the arms. It's very radio-like arms. So sometimes these arms are in the face or a little bit in the way, but it works well for radio. If we look at their tables, so if we look at these here, yeah, this is nice. I think there's enough space for the cameras. The angles are going to work well. Everybody's going to be really, you'll see the whole face, the two eyes. You won't have any profile, so this is great. The only thing I don't like, personally, is that you might see all the legs and stuff again. So something you can work on. If we talk about boom mics, again, this is not great for me. Radio is great, obviously, but for filming, I don't like it. I like these lower design. Certainly these Rode mics, I think, low profile, are great because you can put your laptop under it. You can work. It can go over. Really, really nice design for these podcast arms. Now let's look at this table that we made. This one, the first table we made, it's not perfect. Sorry about that. But you get the idea, right? There's angle, right? There's space for the cameras on each side, and the center has, not full profile, even though this is a little bit of profile right now. We see their faces. We most of the time see the two eyes, which is great. Low profile arms, and sound design in front to hide the feet. Right? Now, what we're doing next, we're actually building this table, which is going to be even better, right? We hide the feet, we put some LEDs, maybe there's some colors, maybe there's some design. We have space for 4 people. The angle makes it that we have space for the cameras, and you can kind of see how the table is going to end up being. So this is really nice for us, and I think this is going to be the perfect design if I had to design, tables, which I did kind of design this one with the help of a designer. Obviously, I did not create these 3D rendering. So when you're going to buy a table or create a table, think about that, right? You ideally do not want this this shape here even though it is the cheapest option. I always say, like, if you can, like, you want a cheap option, IKEA table, like right here, this is good in an angle. This is a really good idea. Try to not go like this, but also, you know, this could work, right? But I would put, again, more space in between. Like, we look at this, you see how much space there is. But again, you have to curve the chairs to have the nice angle for the cameras and everything. So not ideal, lower cost. And then this round table, you know, this would be really hard to film. So it's probably radio. And we look at this one, it works, but, you know, 4 people on there might be a bit hard to get all the nice angles. Obviously this one, capturing one, is good. He could pan right to left, and same thing on the other side. So it's not bad. These mics are a little bit high, so they'll be like right in front of the face. But what can you do? And then at the end, you know, you could always go with something with a couch, right? The only downside with that is that, you know, chairs are moving, things are moving around. So for an automated podcast studio, not great. You really want to go with a table, and it's easier working laptop, you know, having some script and stuff like that. But this is a nice design. It's just you need a camera person on set to move the chairs and readjust if needed, right? So that's it for tables. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. We're always here to help, and we'll talk to you on the next video. Thank you.